today we're going to talk about easeful living, and it's one of the key habits that we study a lot in the Yoga Wellness Club. And why? Why do we do that? Why bother? Well, it can change how you experience your daily life, but also it can change your physiology. And that is massive. If your so basically your perception creates your physiology, is what we're saying in easeful living. How you perceive the world, your interactions, your relationships, the lens that you've been conditioned to use in order to interact with the world affects your physiology, it affects your cells, it affects your DNA. So by shifting that lens, making a conscious choice to shift that lens and see the world in a different way, in a more easeful way, we're able to then bring life into our body. Okay, so this is really important. It's a really important habit and something that we need to be thinking about and consciously choosing over and over and over and over again if we want to be happy and healthy. So you see that your perception creates your physiology. The way you see your life, your thoughts, your emotions can literally turn on and off certain genes in the body. You know, I know there's a lot of belief that we're born predisposed to have certain diseases. Well, you know, this kind of way of seeing life says that no, it's, you know, that's not necessarily the case. There is a predisposition, but the way that we see the world and the way that we take it in can literally turn on and off those genes that we're born with that are, you know, that can probably or possibly lead to disease later on in life. And science is backing this up. So the yogis knew this. This is ancient wisdom. Yeah, but now science is starting to catch up with that ancient wisdom. So, for example, Dr. Bruce Lipton, a stem cell biologist, he's also, I think he's written loads and loads of books. One of them, The Biology of Belief, explains that our beliefs and perceptions influence genetic activity. And he says in that book, your mind's perception of the world changes your biology. If you change the way you perceive the world, you change the signals that are going into your body and you reprogram the fate of your cells. So just by changing how you see the world, you can reprogram your cells. You know, we don't have to take on these diseases that maybe our parents had, our grandparents had. Epigenetics, the study of how genes are turned on and off by environmental factors, shows us that stress, emotions, and even thoughts can alter our gene expression. A study published by Nature Neuroscience found that chronic stress can turn on genes linked to inflammation and disease, while positive emotional states can activate genes related to healing and resilience. So basically, we know that now that most of the diseases that we are suffering from in the modern day and age, this modern day and age is related to inflammation. Everything stems from inflammation of the body. So if we can turn off that inflammation by having a different outlook, we can heal ourselves. Yeah, we can literally heal ourselves. And this is free. We're in control. We get to choose. We're not putting our health and well-being in the hands of somebody else. It's something that we can actively do and choose for ourselves and for our families. So when we choose ease, when we orient ourselves towards love, joy and gratitude, we can support life and we can support healing. So we support our own life and we support our own healing, but we also support the life around us, our families, our community, and we support the healing of others just by being in that way, embodying love, joy and gratitude, perceiving the world in that way. But when we live in stress, we stay in a state of low level tension, frustration or overwhelm, and our body responds. So most of the time, people are living in this kind of low level tension, and it becomes so habitual, so normal, that we don't even realize that we have that kind of going on in the background. And when we're living, we're coming from a place of that low level tension. So anything that's coming at us from the outside world that's slightly irritating, slightly alarming, we're acting from that low level tension, and we're creating more tension for ourselves and those around us. Research at Harvard University shows that chronic stress increases cortisol, weakens the immune system, and contributes to heart disease, weight gain, and even cognitive decline. Dr. Joe Dispenza, a neuroscientist, puts it simply: when you think the same thoughts, make the same choices, and feel the same emotions every day, your body becomes conditioned to live in the past. But when you change your emotions, you signal new genes in new ways. So we can literally open new pathways and new expressions within the body. We don't have to live the same thing over and over again. We don't have to keep suffering and going around in that state of stress and suffering. We can create something new for ourselves. Literally, there's a transformation to be had, and it can be obtained just by simply choosing it. And this is incredible, yeah. Just by choosing something different for yourself, choosing to see the world differently, and not being stuck in a way of being. So that is the beauty. It's the beautiful part, is we always have a choice. Yeah, we always have a choice of how we perceive the world. Okay, we can choose ease, we can choose to come back into alignment, and when we do, we not only feel better, we shift our biology and show up better for ourselves, our families, and our lives. So making that simple choice can have this massive ripple effect out and around, creating something better for not only yourself, but for your family and for your friends and for your work colleagues. So we can live in more, so we're not only more easeful, we can then start to spread that ease out, because, we just look around, everybody's living in the chronic stress and chronic tension. We've got communities engaging. You might not even know somebody, but you could have a beautiful interaction with them, an easeful, beautiful interaction with that person in your community, and then they will then go off and feel that ease and then spread that. But if you have an interaction where you're stressed and you're angry, maybe they've cut you up and you react in a way with aggression and anger, annoyance, frustration, then you're that's kind of exacerbating that, and that person will probably feel that and go off, and then they will then express that to the next person. It's like a domino effect. But if we can express that ease, it's contagious, and those around us can start to feel ease, and we can start to live in a society, in a world where we are all a lot more easeful and a lot more joyful and a lot more, in our bodies, and healthier. And that's kind of what I want for myself, for my family, my community, and for you. So there are really simple practices that we can do, just really easy practices that you just need to get into the habit of doing it. So one of the most simplest ways to practice easeful living is just to pause. Just literally pause throughout your day, just for 30 seconds, maybe a minute. So you would just pause, check in with your body. It's almost like you just do a little body scan, if you've ever done that in yoga before. Scan through your body, notice where you're holding any tension. Breathe into your body. Yeah, you're not trying to do anything, we're just noticing. Yeah, just seeing what's there. And then with that noticing, maybe something happens, something starts to shift, and there's a change, and you're just going to notice where you are and how things shift until you get to a point maybe where you're in a different space, you're in a more easeful way of being. So we're not physically trying to control, we're just allowing. It's almost like when we eat food, we're not trying to consciously digest that food, and we have to like put energy into that. The body knows what to do. And like this, it's like the body knows what to do, but we just need to bring our awareness to it. So studies show that mindfulness and deep breathing can lower those cortisol levels and reduce inflammation and activate genes linked to relaxation and healing. So just by doing that check-in, maybe, 2, 3, 4 times a day, you're basically going to put yourself on a path for lower cortisol, reduced inflammation and relaxation and healing. Your body can start to heal because it's not in that flight and fight response. It's in rest and digest. And in rest and digest, your body's free to then heal. So today, I invite you to start the habit of easeful living. So just pause, breathe, feel. Pause, breathe, feel. And trust that the ease is always here. The ease is just waiting for you to embrace it.